What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and in today's video, we're going to be covering all the brand new Hisuian Pokemon, how to get them, how to evolve them in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I think this is going to be really helpful just because there are a lot of super difficult Pokemon to get in this game. Some of them are way later in the game too, despite advertising, and some evolutionary methods are really difficult to do as well. So let's just dive right in and let's talk about the starters. So we got Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott, and they all have a Hisuian version for their final forms. As you can see, I picked Rowlet here, and it ended up being a Decidueye. So very simple evolutionary. You just got to get it to level 34 for Decidueye, for level 36 for Typhlosion, and for Samurott. So those are clean and simple, super easy to get. However, now it's going to get a little bit more difficult with the other ones, the less so of a freebie, right? So we are currently in the Grand Tree Arena. This is where you defeat the first boss, Kleavor. And this is actually where you catch Scyther, because Kleavor is an evolutionary of Scyther. So getting Scyther relatively easy. There's even an alpha in this area too of Scyther. So if you want a really strong Scyther, you can go down that route as well. And as you can see here, Scyther also does spawn in the Primeval Grotto in the Coronet Highlands, which is the 4th area of the game. So if you want a much higher level Scyther later in the game, then I recommend going to the Coronet Highlands. And to evolve Scyther, it is actually not really easy, and on my initial playthrough, it took me a while to evolve my Scyther. But you need a particular item to actually evolve it. It is now like a stone evolution. So the item that you need to evolve your Scyther is a black Augerite. As you can see, we can use it, and it says it is compatible for evolution. And it is really hard to get because it does not drop naturally. You can't just find it. It actually drops from a very particular Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Graveler, and you can't get it in Obsidian Fieldlands until much later. Your first real shot at getting it is the Crimson Mirelands, and even then, Graveler it spawns naturally, but there isn't like a lot of Gravelers. I do actually recommend going for this item. Well, if you could farm out Crimson Mirelands, but Coronet Highlands is where I got mine personally, just because there were so many Gravelers that it was very easy to farm, and there were more Gravelers than Geodudes. Because in the first few areas, you're dealing with more Geodudes and Gravelers. And yes, this is a rare drop, as it says, items contained black Augerite. So I do recommend farming Gravelers to try to get that item for Scyther. You can actually complete a particular side quest to get the item as well. However, the side quest is going to be available when you get to the 4th area. So that's going to take a pretty long time to do, which is very unfortunate. But there we got our Alpha Scyther and our non-Alpha Kleavor. You can see the big difference in their height, but Kleavor's really cool. Bug Rock, I think he's definitely a really awesome Pokemon, and he's fun to use during the campaign. And next up, we have Ursaluna evolving into its brand new evolution, Ursaluna. These are both Alpha variants, so they're both massive. Ursaluna is very easy to catch. It actually can caught in multiple areas in Crimson Mirelands. And you can, I personally caught mine in Ursa's Ring where there's an alpha, but you can get breakout spawns, and they do appear in a couple of other spots on the map as well. And we can actually refer to the decks for that. And the cool thing about this is once you get Ursaring and complete the area, you can actually get Ursaluna. And Ursaluna is an incredibly powerful Pokemon, definitely probably the best of the new Pokemon that were added in the game. And as we can see here, Ursa's Ring and Sonora's Path in Coronet Highlands. So if you want a higher level one, you can always go there. However, you cannot catch Ursaluna in the game. You have to evolve it from an Ursaring. So you actually need a particular item to do this evolution. You need a pet block, and a pet block can be used on an Ursaring. However, it doesn't have any effect because, one, well, we completed the first condition. You need to be in Crimson Mirelands for the evolution to happen. But two, it has to be during a full moon. So the strategy here is you just want to wait until nightfall and then check your Pokemon as long as you have the pet block, and then you can evolve it. So you just want to keep on refreshing until it becomes a full moon, right? And so we pick it up. It says incompatible. That means we did it. It's not the right day. So you just got to keep doing this until you actually get it to say it's compatible. And it doesn't take too many resets. I think my first time took me maybe 5 resets to get there. It's not that big of an issue. And let's see if we can get it here. We did not get it here, which is okay. So something more important than that is, let's get to that step. How do we get a pet block? Pet blocks are hard. Well, one, you can get one as a late game item, but you want to use this Pokemon in the game. Well, in the second area in Crimson Mirelands, you get your own Ursaluna as a ride Pokemon. As you can see, it's an item finder, and you can find particular items. Well, if you're using Ursaluna down in the swamp bog area, you can actually end up finding items to dig up. And these items can be evolutionary items like the pet block. I found my pet block down here in the Scarlet Bog area. From Scarlet Bog and all the way down here were the two areas where I found my pet block. So I recommend trying this out. If you do it a couple times, you don't find anything, definitely go back to Jubilee Village and then restart the area, and then new items will come through. So eventually you'll find your pet block and be able to evolve your Ursaring into an Ursaluna. Next up, also in the Crimson Mirelands that you can catch is Petal, and Petal can be evolved by using a Sunstone, so it's incredibly easy, and stones are a little bit difficult to get in this game in general, but there are multiple quests that do give Sunstones. But also, if you are just mining rocks constantly, going through minerals and defeating Geodudes and Gravelers that come out, especially the minerals that are sparkling, those have a higher chance of giving you an evolutionary stone, and sometimes those can be a Sunstone. So we actually have not evolved our Petal yet, and as you can see, it's caught in Cotton's Edge Parry, which is very easy to access. You can get it by going right around Lake Valor and then going down here. So I do recommend when you unlock the Diamond Settlement, just to start there, go around and go there. Or if you already have Surf, you can just catch it in the Home of Trials. So let's go evolve our nice little Petal for the very first time. And there we go. Of course, you can't evolve a Pokemon if it is out of its ball already, so you got to make sure to put it back. Just an FYI, because I didn't know that either. And I love the evolutionary screen in this game. It's honestly incredible, and I think this Pokemon's really cool. Grass Fighting. This Pokemon is perfect if you did not pick up the Decidueye, because they do have the exact same typing as well. And now, let's see how big Hisuian Lilligant is. Oh, it's like taller than me. That's a little bit scary. But, you know, I like this Pokemon. It's a very cool Pokemon overall. And next up, we got Hisuian Qwilfish and its evolution Overqwil. So this is one of those trickier ones as well. I mean, all of them seem to be relatively tricky overall. But first of all, you can catch this thing mostly in the Cobalt Coastlands. You can go back to Hisuian Fieldlands in the water. However, you might as well just catch in the area right when you get water. So I'm currently just chilling out in the Crimson Coastlands, pretty much near the bay right here, but you can also catch it in the center area as well, and you can catch it near the volcano as well on the shore here. So it's a very common Pokemon when you actually are surfing. However, getting the evolution is not an easy task. So what you need to make sure that you have, we need to go to our Pokemon, and we need to go to our Qwilfish, and then we need to check its moves. So you need to make sure it has Barb Barrage, because the way to evolve Hisuian Qwilfish into Overqwil is you need to use Barb Barrage in Strong Style 20 times. Yep, 20 times. It is definitely one of the more annoying ways to get an evolution in the game, in my opinion, and it does take time. And my personal recommendation is I would just go to Coastlands Camp and just kill all the Pokemon around Coastlands Camp, come back, sit, rest, and then fight all the Pokemon again. Because when you use Strong Style, it takes 2 PP on the move. So as you can see here, it takes Strong Style here. So this is going to put us at 13 of 15. And so you can't do it all in one session of battles. And of course, it may not kill the Pokemon outright. And if the Pokemon dies to poison here, it's not going to count. So it actually may be better just to go to a really weak area, because that technically did not count as one of our kills because it was with poison and not with the actual move itself. And now we can actually go to our next Pokemon that can be caught out here, which is White Stripe Basculegion. Technically not a Hisuian Pokemon. because it doesn't have a Hisuian in its name. It is just White Strike Basculin, which is very interesting. So Basculin can also be caught out in the Cobalt Coastlands. A little bit fewer areas. It was just Tranquility Cove and the shore. The shore is the same place as the Quillfish from before, and the cove is out in the middle. But you can also catch this guy in the Cornet Highlands and Alabaster Icelands if you want to get a higher version and potentially an alpha version as well that can spawn out there. So this is another one of those trickier Pokemon to get. So we can just throw him out here. This is what he looks like. He's a little bit derpy looking, but his evolutionary form is pretty badass. And I will say this, that this is the male version of Basculegion. Basculegion is a really good Pokemon, but there is a male and female version, and they actually have completely different stats. The male version has much higher attack and much lower special attack, while the female version is actually a mixed attacker, having both attack and special attack around 100. So keep that in mind. If you want to go full physical, go male. If you want to go full special or have mixed options, then go female, right? So how do we actually evolve Basculin into Basculegion? It is another one of those weird evolutions. So we also want to look at our moves as well for Basculin. And we're going to check the moves here, right? So we have two important moves that you definitely want to have. You want to have Wave Crash and you want to have Double Edge. Because Basculin evolves when you do 300, I think it's 300 and 350 self-inflicted damage to yourself and surviving in combat. So you have to do something like a Wave Crash to an opponent, and we can actually test this out right here. Let's see if we can get a nice little opponent. Let's try another Beautifly. These are definitely not the easiest opponents we're going against, but it is, you know, just for the sake of the video here, we're just going to go for a Beautifly. All right, so we got a 1v1 with a Beautifly here, so this is excellent. So what we want to do here is, if you don't need to do any styles, you just need to do self-inflicted damage and survive. And it only counts if you survive. If you die while doing the move, it won't count. All right, so we defeated Beautifly, and we took about, what is that, 40 damage? So that is 40 more damage, 40 less damage we need to evolve, and you want to make sure that hits about 300 damage, and then you'll get the option to get either male or female Basculegion. And next up is Wyrdeer, and Wyrdeer is evolved form of Stantler, and you can catch Stantler in the beginning of the game at Deer Track Heights, but you can also wait till later in the game and go to Cornet Highlands or Alabaster Icelands for a higher version of Stantler. And the big thing with Stantler is you need to use Psy Shield Bash in Agile form 20 times, and it's very important that you do that because this is the only way to evolve Stantler into Wyrdeer. Of course, you can get as Alpha Stantler in the first area as well, but you need the ability to fly or to climb rocks, so you won't be able to get the Alpha for a while. And Psy Shield Bash Agile form is about, you would probably get, I think, a level 28, level 29, or level 30 to get the Agile form of the move. So once you hit that point, then I recommend just farming at near a campsite, doing Agile style 20 times, and then sleeping, recovering the PP on the move, and keep doing it until you get the evolutionary option. Next up is Hisuian Growlithe, which can actually be caught right here. This is where I just caught this Growlithe, and this one is a beauty of a Pokemon and very simple to evolve. This is where I caught it, was just right at Veilstone Cape in this general area. So this one is super easy to evolve as long as you have the right stone. If you have a fire stone, you can apply it to your Growlithe, and now you can get a Hisuian Arcanine, which is also a fire and rock type Pokemon. This Pokemon is sort of a glass cannon. I mean, it does a lot of damage, but you know, you are weak to a lot of things, especially 4 times a week to water is not great, and 4 times a week to ground is also not great as well. So high risk, high reward, but very cool Pokemon overall. And now we have Hisuian Voltorb, which can be caught in Mount Cornet, in the Cornet Highlands, in the Sacred Plaza area. And this is another very easy evolution. You just need to have the right stone to do it. And this time, instead of Fire Stone, we're actually going to be using a Leaf Stone to evolve our Voltorb into a Hisuian Electrob. And this is actually a fairly good Pokemon. I mean, Electric Grass is actually pretty good typing, and I think it's just a cool Pokemon overall. So I think I may actually end up using this Pokemon on my next playthrough just because of how unique the typing is. And next up, we have Hisuian Sneasler, which can be caught in the Cornet Highlands. Looking at its dex, you can see it's in the Celestic Trail and Primeval Grotto, or you can get a higher level one, and there is a guaranteed alpha spawn in the Alabaster Icelands. This is a poison fighting type that is really good, and it evolves into a brand new evolution called Sneasler. So to evolve Sneasler, you're going to need to have a Razor Claw. This is exactly the same method how you would evolve regular Sneasler. And yes, you can get regular Sneasler in the game once you hit the post game. So you can give the regular Sneasler a Razor Claw at nighttime to get Weavile. If you give Hisuian Sneasler a Razor Claw during the daytime, you get Sneasler. And that's how you evolve this Pokemon. Fortunately, I do not have a Razor Claw yet in my own game because I haven't had one drop from the Distortions, but the Distortions is going to be the best way to get one, or you can buy one from the Merit Shop in Jubilee Village. Next up, we have Hisuian Slugoo and Hisuian Goodra. As you can see, we got the Hisuian Alpha Goodra just chilling right over here, which can be found at the Ancient Quarry on Cornet Highlands. So if you just want to catch a level 70 Goodra immediately, you can just do that as well. But there's also Goomies, and a Slugoo can spawn here as well. So if you want to just catch the whole family and not raise it from a Goomy, then go right ahead. I mean, it's level 70. It is going to be a little bit harder, but you can definitely do it. Goomy can be caught in the Ancient Quarry, as I said, and Homes of Trials on Crimson Mirrorlands. Same with the Slugoo. The Slugoo has a guaranteed alpha at the Home of Trials, and as you can see, the Goodra is at the Ancient Quarry. You evolve Goomy into Slugoo, but just by normal level up. However, for Slugoo to evolve into Goodra, you must have a level 50 Slugoo that is in the rain. It must be raining like it is right now to evolve your Hisuian Slugoo into a Hisuian Goodra. Next up in the Alabaster Icelands, we're going to evolve our Burmite into an Avalugg, and this is a very simple one. You can catch this Pokemon in the Avalugg's Legacy or Arena's Approach, which are very close to the Ice Peak camp. And this Pokemon just evolves naturally at level 37, so let's just go evolve it and see how it looks. And this evolves into an Ice and Rock type Pokemon. Terrible special defense, incredible defensive and HP stats, and big offensive attack stat. But you are with a really bad defensive typing, so definitely keep that in mind when using this Pokemon. But overall, I think this is a very cool Pokemon. And let's see how he looks. He is nice, big, and large. And then next up, we have a couple of other Pokemon we need to evolve. We got Hisuian Zoroark, and this one is going to be much more complicated in sense of fighting. I actually labeled on the map here where we can find Hisuian Zoroark. There are two spawns on the map. One is right here, and one is right here. However, you have to enter into some caves to get these spawns. So let me just put a little marker right here where we can see them. So where I put this little mineral, that is actually where we need to enter, because these Pokemon are listed underground, which means we will not be able to see them in the above ground, and there's only one of them at each spawn. So here we go. Here is our underground area we are trying to enter, and then once we go down this hole, we'll actually be able to see one more Burmite. So if you needed some Burmites, there you go. And there we get our Hisuian Zoroark. This is probably in like level 30s, like low 30s. Definitely not a final form Pokemon. And you are going to have to level it up to get it into its final form, which is Zoroark. And we can actually do that evolution right when we leave this cave and escape danger. And this Pokemon evolves in the late 30s from off the top of my head. Very easy, or maybe level 40, I believe. Very easy to do. You can give it a couple rare candies or some experience candies, but overall super easy. The hard part is actually just finding this Pokemon. This Pokemon is amazing. Normal goes, great stats across the board. The only bad thing about this Pokemon is it is literally at the end of the game, but overall, very cool Pokemon. And then our last Pokemon that we need to evolve is actually this Rufflet right here. And Rufflet, I believe, evolves at level 52 or 54. Either way, it's just another late game Pokemon that we can very easily get, as we can see in our decks here. We can see that Rufflet is located in the Lake Agassiz and Heart's Crag, which is up on the top of the map over here. So the lake here is where you're going to be finding it for the most part, and Heart's Crag on the far right. So on the upper part of Alabaster Icelands. And now let's evolve this Pokemon for the very first time as well. Another very late game Pokemon. So there is 3 Hisuian Pokemon that are incredibly late game, which is unfortunate in my opinion, because I think these are some of the coolest ones in the game. But, you know, it is what it is, and there is a great post-game to the game as well, so we're not missing out on too much. You can still use these guys in the post-game as well. Well, guys, I hope you found this video to be great and helpful for setting up your team, evolving all the Pokemon, and making sure you catch them all. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.